Could we pray? Our Heavenly Father, we gather today to remember. We gather today to celebrate the beauty of this young lady that has touched so many lives. We gather today to find comfort from you, that you would give us your understanding, but most of all, you would give us your peace. Father, we thank you for the life of this precious young lady and for the many lives that she has touched. We ask that everything that is said and done today will be in honor of our Savior, the Lord Jesus Christ, and that he will receive honor in all that we do and say. We ask in Jesus' name. Amen. We gather today at a very sad time, and yet we gather today in a time of precious memories. Each one of you here has a precious memory of this precious young lady, Isarus, or as she was known as Izzy. But we are also like little children sometimes when we come to these times in our life. We don't know why. And so just as a little child will, when they fall down or when they stumble or when they awake in the night afraid, they will run to their mother or their father and they will fall into their arms. And they will ask their father or their mother, please comfort me. Please make me feel safe. Please let me know that you are there. And so to this family and you friends gathered today, this is what I invite you to do today, to run to the Father and let him know all of your questions and all of your ponderings and all your wondering, how could this happen to such a beautiful young lady? And let him give you peace to make it through the days and weeks to come. We look to his word to give us the comfort that we need. The writer in Psalms says, I will lift up mine eyes into the hills from which comes my help. My help comes from the Lord, who made heaven and earth. He will not allow your foot to be moved. He will keep you. You will not slumber. Behold, the Lord, who keeps Israel, shall neither slumber nor sleep. The Lord is your keeper. The Lord is your shade at your right hand. The sun shall not strike you by day, nor the moon by night. The Lord shall preserve you from all evil. He shall preserve your soul. The Lord that shall preserve your going out and your coming in from this time forth and even more and evermore. Isaiah the prophet said, do you not know? Have you not heard? Yahweh is the everlasting God, the creator of the whole earth. He never grows faint or weary. There is no limit to his understanding. He gives strength to the weary, strengthens the powerless. Youths may faint and grow weary, and young men stumble and fall, but those who trust in the Lord will renew their strength. They will soar on wings like eagles. They will run and not grow weary. They will walk and not faint. Do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be afraid, for I am your God. I will strengthen you, and I will help you, and I will hold on to you with my righteous right hand. And finally, the psalmist David gave us the psalm that is such a comfort in many areas of our life when he said, "The Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want. He makes me to lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside still waters. He restores my soul. He leads me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. And yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of mine enemies. Thou anointest my head with oil. My cup overflows. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever." Those comforting words that you can glean to today, that simply says to you, family, God has not forgotten you. Jesus sees your pain. As he approached that Mary and Martha when Lazarus had died, even though he knew he was going to raise him from the dead, the Bible says Jesus wept. He is weeping today over your pain. But he is also desiring to comfort you, to put his arms around you and to let you know, I love you. I will carry you. I will comfort you. As I was reading through the obituary for Izzy, I could not help but be profoundly moved that how this young lady had dedicated her life to helping other people. In a world that sometimes is so selfish and has the attitude of what's in it for me, she had dedicated her life to helping those who were unfortunate and those that were going through struggles in her life. And that is her legacy, family and friends. She has left a legacy, and there are people today that are better off because she came their way. Their lives are better because she cared what happened to them. Perhaps you're sitting here today, and because of her light in your life, you are a better person today. That is the comfort that we take in a moment like this. Her life was not wasted, although it was tragically ended too soon. It was not wasted. She gave her life for others. In the book of Matthew, it says, "For I was hungry, and you gave me something to eat. I was thirsty, and you gave me something to drink. I was a stranger, and you took me in. I was naked, and you clothed me. I was sick, and you took care of me. I was in prison, and you visited me." Then the righteous will answer him, "Lord, when did we see you hungry and feed you, or thirsty and give you something to drink? When did we see you a stranger and take you in, or without clothes and clothe you? When did we see you sick or in prison and visit you?" And the king will answer, "I assure you, whatever you did for one of the least of these brothers of mine, you did it for me. The legacy that this young lady leaves behind is not riches of gold and silver, or not monuments that will be on walls or plaques that will honor her name. But her honor is going to be in the people that she made their lives better because she came their way. Each one of you who knew her, you are a better person today because her wit, her humor, but most of all, her love for you and for others will forever be planted in your heart. At this time, we're going to have friends and family that are going to come and share their heart and share how this beautiful woman touched their lives. The first one will be her brother, who will come at this time and share his thoughts.
Good afternoon. My name is Andrew Pineda. I am Izzy's brother. I'll be honest, I didn't prepare anything. I couldn't bring myself to actually do this. But I wanted to thank you all for being here today, whether friends or family. It means a lot to not only me, but my family and my friends here. And I know my sister would be looking down, laughing at us right now for being so sad, because that's who she was, you know. Her goal was to unite everyone, and seeing all of you guys here, I know my sister would have loved that. She was my rock. She truly, truly was. She knew how to humble me when I was on my high horse, you know. If you know me, you know I like to brag about myself a little bit, but she knew how to bring me down. I had a great relationship with my sister. We fought, we argued, but that wouldn't last more than an hour. We would make up immediately, just remind each other of how much we love each other. She loved everybody, everyone here. Whether you had a close relationship with her or not, she loved you. I'll promise you that. She touched so many lives. She made everyone's life better. And she will be dearly missed. I love you 3,000, Izzy. I'm sorry. Thank
you. Looking from a window above, it's like a story of love. Can you hear me? Came back only yesterday. I'm moving farther away. Want you near me? All I needed was the love you gave. All I needed for another day. And all I ever knew, only you. Sometimes when I think of her name, when it's only a game, and I need you. Listen to the words that you say. It's getting harder to stay. When I see you, all I need
this time we will ask Ari if you would come and share your thoughts, please.
My daughter wrote something that she's a little too shy to read, so I'll read it, and then I'll say my speech. The Asasi will never die. She is still alive in our hearts. You may miss her. She does too. Think of a person you might meet in the future, of a pet as the Asasi. She was brave, smart, sweet, loving, and quite crazy. You still will have her, and if you lost someone else, they're still with you in your heart. She wants you to be nicer, kinder, braver, stronger. She loves you, and you loved her. Tried to make this short and sweet because my sister would always roll her eyes when I would begin to tell a story. She said my stories were too long and full of details that didn't matter. But here today, in this story, in her story, every detail matters. My sister loved many things: her family, her friends, her job, her patients, her co-workers, her cat, Katy Purry, and her sweet dog, Max. She loved Bad Bunny, Taylor Swift, Marvel movies, specifically Iron Man, and most recently, she loved to read. Her goal was 100 books by the end of the year. It's April, and she had already read 56 books. That's a testament to who she was: determined, rigorous, focused, and when she set her mind to or on something, no one could stop her. Her motto was, "Yo hago lo que se me dé la gana," which translates to, I do whatever I want. And she most certainly did. She was our protector, our confidant, our voice of reason, our biggest cheerleader. But just as she was all those things, she was also our biggest hater. She was quick to set us straight, call us out, and put us in our place. She was my little sister, but I'm not afraid to admit I was scared of her. I knew if I was, that meant other people were too. So with her, I always felt safe. I remember telling her some boy was mean to me on the bus during the final days of my 3rd grade year. She held on to that information for an entire summer. When she started kindergarten a few months later, her first day on that bus, without skipping a beat, she asked me to point to the boy that was mean to me the previous year. Walked up to him with all the confidence in the world, cold clocked him, and took her seat. She had my back, and I had hers, although she never needed backup. If you knew my sister, you knew that her niece and nephew were her entire world. She would constantly remind me that my daughter, Layton, was exactly like her, and boy, was she right. My sister lit up any room she walked into, was the life of the party, and made everyone who crossed her path fall in love with her. We would fight as many sisters do, but that wouldn't last long. She would send a text after a fight, "Want to be sisters again?" And the 8 phone calls a day would start again, but only because she needed someone to gossip with. When our mom would drive us crazy, it was the "dude, get your mom," or texting me chisme, which means gossip in English, because we told each other everything. It was also her way of luring me in. If she called and I didn't answer, she would text me chisme because she knew I'd call back quicker. I'd call her back and she'd say, "Dude, I forgot what I was gonna tell you, but can you send me $40? She was the funniest person I knew. She took risks, specifically always driving on E. She absolutely dreaded getting gas. At one point, she was living at my mom's house, and I lived 2.5 miles away. She texted me asking me what my address was. Immediately, I knew she was trying to make sure she had enough to get to and from my house without having to get gas. She said, "I got 7 miles, I'm Gucci." My sister was, is, and will always be the one person I could count on. The only one in this world who shared my DNA. We had the same blood running through our veins. Truth or not, it's what my dad would always say, and what we'd repeat to each other after our fights were over. She was my person, And I know that there are many before me today who feel the exact same way. And how lucky are we? I would love to honor my sister and hope that you will all join me. Izzy believed in standing together for the people you love, and this is by true definition one of those moments. There's a line in those Marvel movies, a moment where everyone comes together, where no one stands alone. When I say it, if you're able, I'd love for you to stand with me as a sign of unity and love for her. Avengers, assemble. We stand together for her today, and we carry her with us always. We love you, 3000, my beautiful sister.
No words appear before me in the aftermath. Salt streams out my eyes and into my ears. Every single thing I touch becomes sick with sadness. Because it's all over now, all out to sea. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. You were bigger than the whole sky. You were more than just a short time. And I've got a lot to pine about. I've got a lot to live without. I'm never gonna meet what could have been, would have been, what should have been you. What could have been, would have been you. Did some bird flap its wings over in Asia? Did some force take you because I didn't pray? Every single thing to come has turned into ashes. 'Cause it's all over, it's not meant to be. So I'll say words I don't believe. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. You were bigger than the whole sky. You were more than just a short time. And I've got a lot to pine about. I've got a lot to live without. I'm never gonna meet what could have been, would have been, what should have been you. Could have been, would have been. What could have been, would have been, what should have been you. Could have been, would have been you. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. You were bigger than the whole sky. You were more than just a short time. And I've got a lot to pine about. I've got a lot to live without. I'm never gonna meet what could have been, would have been, what should have been you.
At this time, we're going to invite those that have special memories to come at this time and share their thoughts.
those of you who don't know me, my name is Luis. I'm Anisa's dad. I live in Houston. My brother's here for moral support because he knows that the only things that scare him in this earth is Arianis and Isaris. To this day, they scare me. They also upset me a lot because of Bad Bunny. As you all know, Isaris love Bad Bunny. She will hammer me every single day about Bad Bunny, knowing that I hate it. But back in Houston, there's people sending me pictures because Arianis posted that she wanted everyone with Bad Bunny and Taylor Swift stuff. So they're wearing Bad Bunny shirts. All the way to Houston, she's touching people. I'm going to start with some things because I have two daughters. Sunday, Father's Day, June 18, 1989, was the greatest day of my life. Because on that day, Arianis made me not a man, but a father. And it was the first time that I was called a dad. We had a beautiful life. Harmony, I loved her, kissed her, hugged her. Until December 21st, 1992, Isaris was born. She was born with her eyes open, like saying, "Look at me. I'm here to turn your life upside down." And she did. She made our life a living nightmare. Two girls born to the same parents, same blood, yet nothing to do with each other. Not one like the other. Not at all. To the point that one like Arianis will be straight and narrow, follow rules. I remember one day she sees on the phone, on the TV, NSYNC, and she loved NSYNC. She sees, "Hey, if you want to talk to NSYNC, call this number." Arianis grabs the phone, she's running to dial the number, then they say, "You must be 18. She goes, "Man, what does Isaris do? I call them." Because of course, that's who she is. Totally opposite. We will go to a party. I will have somebody come and ask me, "Is this your daughter?" Pointing at Arianis. "Yes." "Why is she talking to me about politics in Puerto Rico and she's 7 years old?" Because that's my daughter, Arianis. 5-10 minutes pass by. "Is this your daughter?" Pointing at Isaris. Guess why? There's a kid crying somewhere because Isaris went ahead and either took their toy, slapped them, did something. She made our life, oh my God. To the point in school, I saw Arianis singing in the cafeteria some play. The entire school was quiet, listening to Arianis singing. A week later, I get a call. "Your daughter Isaris had believed the other kids that you were Stone Cold Steve Austin and she was selling your autograph for 25 cents. So I had to go and answer to that. Then she had the audacity to tell me, "I was going to cut you in on a deal." You're 5 years old. The mentality. Neighbors' kids. Arianis will go and play with a little girl playing dolls, whatever. Not Isaris. Isaris took the little brother of the girl, get down on all four knees. Then she got on his back and rode him like a horse. My goodness, where does it end? At the same time, my daughters loved each other beyond reproach. When Isaris was born, Arianis bathed her, hugged her, kissed her, changed her diapers. And if you don't believe me, ask Doña Concha. One day, she tells me, next time you bring Isaris, make sure you bring a lot of diapers, because we ran out. Well, Sylvia, their aunt, found out why. Arianis was changing the diaper every 5 minutes on this girl because she didn't want her sister to be wet. So she cost me a lot of money. At the same time, Arianis protected Isaris all the time, no matter what. One of her friends came playing one day in the backyard, in the swing set. Her friend hit Isaris. I saw Ariani jumped out of that swing set, slapped the little girl, and told her, "You do not hit my sister. Only I can hit my sister. Get out of my house." I was so proud of it. But then, on the other hand, when Isaris finally get to go to school, they so happen to go to the same school. 5 years old, Arianis can tell you, she goes into her classroom and tell those kids, I'm Arianis' sister. If you all mess with her, you're messing with me. How are you going to be 5 years old threatening other kids? It makes no sense how two girls can be from the same household, same blood running through, and yet they do the wild things they do. At the same time, I could not separate them. When they came to live over here, I kept telling Isaris, come live with me in Houston. Come live with me in Houston. First thing she will always say, I got to help Arianis with the kids. Because she loved those kids. She loved her sister. They loved each other so much, I came to visit one day. They picked me up. Arianis is driving. Isaris is on the passenger seat. I'm in the back seat. They forgot about me. Because they're all talking about their music and all kinds of stuff to the point that I'm like, oh my God, I've done my job. Because I know they love each other more than anything else. I'm going to close with this. At the same time, them two, oh my God. I get a phone call one day from Wake County Jail. I don't answer because I don't know anything. Then it dawned on me, Wake Forest, Wake County. If somebody's in jail, it's going to be Isaris. So I call Arianis. Arianis, where's your sister? I don't know. I keep getting a phone call from Wake County Jail. Oh my God, Dad. She's been calling Mom too. So at that moment, she calls again. I answer the phone. She starts crying. Dad, I'm in jail. Of course, you know I'm upset. Isaris is in jail. And I start going off. Then she starts crying and tell me, get me out of here. So I get more upset. And I said, now you want to cry? Take it like a man. You're in jail, don't worry about it. Your sister and your mom are on the way to pick you up. Then they start laughing. And at that moment, I get quiet. And they said, calm down, Dad. It's a joke. I said, what do you mean it's a joke? I'm not in jail. I said, but it says Wake County Jail. I said, no, it's a recording. Recording nothing. Your sister told me this. My sister's on the line. They were both in a line playing a joke on me. That's how they love each other. My daughter has touched so many people in her life, in Puerto Rico, Texas, everywhere. And I'm going to leave you with this last one. You know she flew a lot. I work at the airport. She went with one of her aunts. Her aunt went in first. It so happened she had liquids in her bag. So I go, Isaris, your aunt has some liquids in her bag. Isaris goes and tells her aunt, how dare you bring some liquids through here? You know you can't bring no liquids. But then Isaris' purse come through. Guess what she had in her purse? a knife. So then her aunt says, Saris, you cannot bring knives either. So needless to say, she was a wildfire. As we say in Spanish, una escopeta en el aire. A loose cannon, basically. I want to thank you all for being here. Look around and look what she did. She brought all of you together. I know she touched you somehow, whether it was job-related, school-related, friendship, whatever it was. I want to thank you all for being part of her life and for loving my daughter the way that you do. So thank you.
It's been a long day without you, my friend, and I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. We've come a long way from where we began. Oh, I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. When I see you again.
Damn, who knew? All the planes we flew, good things we've been through. That I'll be standing right here talking to you about another path. I know we love to hit the road and laugh, but something told me that it wouldn't last. Had to switch up, look at things different, see the bigger picture. Those were the days, hard work forever pays. Now I see you in a better place. How can we not talk about family when family's all that we got? Everything I would.
Dude. God, if we could just hear that one more time. The tea was good. Every single time. Always sharing the tea. Even when she probably wasn't supposed to. Izzy was hilarious in her own way. Very loud, very unapologetically herself.
I first met Izzy in 2020. She came strolling into the office and introduced herself as Dr. Gupta's scribe. And I thought, oh my God, of course you are. You're both decked out in cheetah print. And over the next few weeks, I got to know Izzy, and I think as soon as I said, I like Taylor Swift, she decided that we were just gonna be best friends.
And I met Izzy at work when I returned from maternity leave with Cameron. And she had already befriended Tessa, which if you knew Izzy, you know that wasn't always automatic. We kind of exchanged a few looks. And it wasn't until Tessa got COVID and we were basically forced to work together. And that's when everything just clicked. After that, WLB was formed and it was nonstop. She was the L in the WLB, the life. Laughing, cackling, telling each other, shh, stop, keep it down, we're gonna get in trouble. And then laughing even harder because we just couldn't stop. Or just giving each other that look where we already knew we were about to start laughing before anything ever happened.
The three of us became so close, and when we finally made ourselves go back and look through that group chat that lasted however many years of our life, it wasn't just the messages, it was a whole timeline of our life. Pictures of our kids, their milestones, so many Jersey Shore memes, so many Disney outfits, Play-On, New York City outfits, Backstreet Boy outfits, Bad Bunny outfits, all the casino wins, and I think she always told us when her gas tank was on empty.
All the time. We could talk for hours about absolutely nothing, like when the dinosaurs were born, when Jesus was born, and maybe convincing ourselves that they somehow might have overlapped. If I was ever doubting myself, she'd say, dude, you got it. And when she needed it back, I'd tell her, dude, you don't got it. And she would do it anyways. Izzy was always there, always. Always down for anything, especially if it meant helping one of us.
To the point where I was afraid to tell her certain things because I knew she would show up guns blazing, ready to take out whoever I was upset with.
That was Izzy, that was us. Izzy loved in her own way, and she loved hard. I always knew she loved us and wanted the best for us. She loved my kids. She always showed up for the people she cared about in a way that was so her, and she never settled for less, and she taught me to never settle for less.
And now everything is just really quiet. Our group chat is quiet. She was the one that was always going, always pushing it, and always living fully in her own way. And we loved her so much.
And we miss her so much.
And we're just really grateful for the time that she was with us.
My name is Andrew Brady, aka Bad Brady, as Izzy often referred to me. Kind of like Andrew, couldn't really bring myself to prepare something, but I have two stories I want to share that I think reflect her character pretty well. I was in a bad living situation, and I had to move out in like 4 or 5 days, and she reached out to 6 apartment complexes, made tours with each one of them, made an itinerary, sent it to my mom, and then drove up for like a 6-hour trip to do all the tours with me. Gave me approval on the one I went to, and the rest was history. But that was the type of person she was, where she would show up no matter what. No matter what she was doing, she would always be there. And then, which is how special our friendship was. One time she called me and was like, hey, I have a proposal for you. And I said, when's the Bad Bunny concert? And less than 2 days later, we made a 24-hour trip to DC and back just to see Bad Bunny in the National Stadium. And the shirt I have underneath this shirt is what we wore at the concert. And I'll just never forget how spontaneous she was. She was the most loyal friend I've ever had. And I love her. Thank you.
I like that. I'm gonna copy Andrew. My name's Hannah, also known as Paw Patrol, also known as Angelina, also known as Little Izzy. I could talk about Izzy for forever. We bickered a lot, but she was my travel buddy, my best friend, my big sister, my ride or die. She dressed me, she taught me how to do my makeup, she even took me to the doctor. But above all else, she checked my location constantly. And if one of her Sims weren't where they were supposed to be, we were in trouble. One time, I left my phone in my car before work, and I couldn't get it because the parking lot was so far from the hospital that I had to take a bus to work. I was stressed the whole shift. I didn't get off until 8 p.m. that day, and when I did get off the bus, and I heard, Hannah Nicole Delgado, in her voice, my heart dropped. She yelled at me in front of the whole hospital. She was so mad, I thought she was gonna throw her chancla at me. But after she finished yelling, she gave me a big hug. And in the front seat with her, looking just as mad, was Josh. Boy, did she make him feel Puerto Rican. She thought I got kidnapped, and when she called Josh, at first he was like, no, it's fine. She's fine. She just left it in the car because that's what she does. But if you knew Izzy, you know she's very convincing. And by the end of the phone call, they were driving to the hospital together. She made sure I never made that mistake again. Izzy was always watching me, always checking my location, and I know she still is. Thank you, guys.
Hello, my name's Pedro. I knew Izzy for 20 years. We had a very special relationship. We were great friends, but we also dated for a bit. She was such a special person, huge heart, so caring, always there to help whoever needed it. I have so many memories of her, all the times we were able to share together. I remember when I moved into my house, she'd come over and help me with whatever I needed. If it meant going to every furniture store down Glenwood till we found the right recliner. And then celebrate by going to a brewery and having a beer and talking about orcas or giraffes or whatever she wanted to talk about. She was so special. I used to call her Vieja, just because she'd always squint trying to read the breweries or go to bed at 9 o'clock with her book. And it wasn't until recently that she found out that I was older than her. I mean, we knew each other for 20 years, and she always thought she was the oldest, but she was so special. I know she's feeling all the love from everyone here. I am thankful she made it extremely easy to remember her by, going to Starbucks or watching Marvel. I mean, there's so many ways to remember her. She will be remembered forever. Thank you.
Okay, just bear with me. This one's a little bit longer than most, and it's in English and Spanish, because that's who we are. For those of you who don't know me, my name's Lorena. Para los que no me conocen, me llamo Lorena. I first met Izzy 20 years ago when, just like her, I had moved to Wake Forest. Conocí a Izzy hace 20 años cuando, igual que ella, recién llegamos a Wake Forest. Back when there weren't a lot of us Hispanic kids, so naturally we stayed together. En un tiempo donde no había muchos niños hispanos, so siempre andábamos juntas. And from day one, she was my mini-me, just a lot sassier than me. Desde el primer día, ella era mi mini-me, solo un poco más atrevida que yo. The first time her mom ever heard my name was when Izzy got in trouble at school because she told another kid her sister Lorena was going to beat her up. And her mom, confused, said, "Who's Lorena?" La primera vez que su mamá escuchó mi nombre fue cuando Izzy en la escuela le dijo a otra niña que si no la dejara en paz, su hermana mayor Lorena le iba a pegar. Y la mamá, confundida, dijo, ¿quién carajos es Lorena? The truth was, she wasn't wrong. I would have. Back then, today, tomorrow, anytime. I would have. Because that's who we were for each other. Y la verdad es que no estaba equivocada. Yo lo hubiera hecho. Antes, ayer, mañana, cuando sea, porque así éramos la una para la otra. What I realize now is that when we met, I had no idea how deeply she would become a part of my life. Lo que ahora entiendo es que cuando nos conocimos hace 20 años, no tenía idea la profundamente que ella iba a impactar mi vida y ser parte de mi vida. Ahora, viendo para atrás, nunca hubiera un mundo donde ella no iba a ser parte de mi vida. And now looking back, there was never a world where we weren't meant to find each other. We were always connected, siempre conectadas, siempre íbamos a estar juntas. Izzy was the love of my brother's life. She always will be. Ella era el amor de vida de mi hermano y siempre lo será. My daughter's best friend ended up being her nephew, Neymar. El mejor amigo de mi hija resultó siendo su sobrino, Neymar. Y hace 2 años, at a baby shower, entró ella y su primo Chris y nos dimos cuenta que mis tías eran las enfermeras de la familia de ellos. And 2 years ago at a baby shower, her and Chris, her cousin, walked in and we realized my aunts were the nurse for her whole family. Our families had known each other all along. Nuestras familias se conocían desde antes. There was no escaping it, no había forma de evitarlo, and we were destined to meet, to be in each other's lives forever intertwined. Estábamos destinadas a encontrarnos, a ser de parte de la vida de la otra. Izzy was the person who solved my problems when I'm constantly called to solve everyone else's. Ella era la persona que resolvía mis problemas cuando yo siempre estoy resolviéndolos de todo el mundo. My most loyal confidant, always believing the best in me and refused to see it any other way. Mi confidante más leal, siempre creyendo lo mejor en mí y negándose a verlo otra manera. That was Izzy. She loved loudly, she showed up fully, and she made you feel like you mattered. Así era Izzy. Ella amaba sin miedo, se entregaba completamente y te hacía sentir que importabas. And I know the hardest part of all this is going to be the little things, the things you don't expect. Y sé que la parte más difícil de esto va a ser las cosas pequeñas, las cosas que no nos esperamos. Como hoy, me tenía que hacer rizos en el pelo y me acordaba que la máquina que usaba me hizo Izzy comprarlo, porque yo no me sé cómo hacer los rizos en el pelo. And so today I had to curl my hair with the curling iron she made me buy because I don't know how to curl my hair. And the reason she made me buy it is because she got tired of coming over when my husband would come visit me because she wanted it done just right. Se cansó de venir a mi casa antes que ahora mi esposo a visitarme porque quería asegurarse que mi pelo estaba perfecto. That was her, always the perfectionist, always fixing things, always showing up, always taking care of me in ways I didn't even know I needed. Así era ella, siempre arreglando todo, la perfeccionista, siempre presente, siempre cuidándome en formas que yo ni sabía que necesitaba. And I could keep going, I could talk about her forever. Y podría hablar de ella por horas. But the truth is, there's no version of this world that makes sense to me without her. La verdad es que no existe una versión de este mundo que me haga sentido sin ella a mi lado. We were supposed to grow old together, we had plans, and we had so much left to do. Se suponía que íbamos a envejecer juntas, teníamos planes, nos faltaba tanto que hacer. Pero if you know Izzy, you know that she would never leave us completely. Si conocías a Izzy, sabes que nunca dejarnos completamente. Because if you knew her, like Hannah said, her favorite thing to do was pull up her Find My app and track every single one of us. She used to call us her Sims. Porque si la conocías, sabías que su juego favorito era abrir la aplicación de Find Mine y averiguar dónde cada uno de nosotros estaba. Nos llamaba sus Sims. And now she doesn't need an app anymore because she's with all of us every single day, no matter where we are. Ahora ya no necesita una aplicación porque ella va a estar con nosotros todos los días sin importar dónde estemos. Gracias.
Standing there by my side, and now you gon' be with me for that's right.
It's been a long day without you, my friend, and I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. We've come a long way, from where we began.
You know we started.
Oh, I'll tell you all about it when I see you again.
Let me tell you.
When I see you again.
First you both go out your way and the vibe is feeling strong, and what's small turn to a friendship turn to a bond, and that bond will never be broken, the love will never get lost.
Guys, anyone?
And when brotherhood come first, then the line will never be crossed. Established it on our own when that line had to be drawn, and that line is what we reach. So
yeah, feel free, if by all means anyone, if you want to say the shortest thing, the longest thing, that's what we want to do to celebrate her, is just talk about her, because you all know how much she loved talking about herself. So by all means, please come on up.
Andrew, would you come up here and help me with this? I need you to translate, please. Charlie and Irma, you are part of my family. And because you are part of my family, I feel like I am part of yours. I never met Izzy, and I'm deeply saddened at this point not to have met her. But I wrote a little something, and I feel like I was inspired to write it, and I'm going to share it with you now. It's called Losing a Loved One. Losing a loved one is never easy. In fact, it can be downright excruciatingly painful. But one must always remember that life is never easy and rarely, if ever, feels fair. Dr. Elizabeth Kubler-Ross developed what is commonly known as the grief cycle. There are 5 stages involved with this, which varies in magnitude and order for each person and each situation. Let me discuss my perspective of them now. You want to translate? All right. Just keep going. Go ahead, sit down now if you want. Okay. I'll just keep going. Denial is just as it sounds. This hasn't happened, or isn't happening to me. I feel this stage is often seen or felt as an individual journey. A journey that feels like one is the only person in the car and the only car on the road. This can be lessened, in my opinion, just by reaching your hand out the window and grabbing hold of the first stable thing you encounter. Anger is potentially the most damaging stage, as there are so many things to blame. It can be another person, either someone accompanying the loss or another party that is part of the scene. God, universe, or another higher power is often the subject, or often the object of the projected anger. This may help ease the pain in the moment, but it is counterintuitive. Blaming God or your higher power is shutting out a critical component of a primary source of healing. Bargaining is perhaps the most complex of the stages, as there is so much that can be said here. There are too many scenarios to list, but I will touch on one thing: changing places. Perhaps everyone has said in their mind, I would change places if I could. Sit with this for a moment. If places were to be changed, one would be suffering while the other is grieving. This is not a win-win situation in any playbook of life. Depression is the most powerful stage. This is the stage that can lead to a whirlpool of emotion that can take life of its own. If one isn't careful here, incredible damage can be done that may have lasting impact. This is also where reaching out can benefit, even if that anchor feels unstable. If there are 2 unstable objects, they can counteract the instability and become even more secure than before. Acceptance is the ability to come to terms with loss or the adverse event. Acceptance is where peace is found. This does not mean that the pain has gone away or that the loss is forgotten. It is simply that learning has happened, strength has increased, and that love has grown sufficient enough to displace the pain. Once the grief cycle is started, for any reason, it never stops. It can be days, months, or even years when one of the stages reemerges. If true learning has been internalized, the stage or stages can be lessened. It is my hope that each of us can recognize the stages as we enter them and use support to lessen their impact on our lives.
Hey y'all, for those who don't know me, my name's Nikki. Me and Izzy met quite some time ago. We've been friends for a while now. I did write a little something because I'm not an impromptu person. I'd probably just stand here and cry. I never thought that I'd be speaking about her in past tense until we were old, and I never thought I would lose the person that I experienced all of life's lows with. Things most people have no clue about. And then the growth that came from all that. I was always so proud of you, and you always made sure you told me how proud of me you were. From driving around to Windsor just to see the Dunlow family and eat at Heritage House, going to Lee's Kitchen in the morning to get breakfast, and always joking on me for how I say breakfast. And that one time we found a gift card at a party, and the karma for that was I broke my wrist because we used it. Bought everybody shots. Boxcar, that was definitely our place every day after work. And I just want you to know that they will have a permanent seat for you there forever. I could talk all day about every single memory we had, but I know all of you could. We experienced so much together, most of the important things in life, and I'm just grateful that I got to do it all with you. I know most of us here have the selfish thoughts of why you were taken, because you were without a doubt one of the best people in all of our lives. A piece of my heart left us Sunday. I'm still having trouble imagining a life without my person. And I would give anything to just have one more concert. One more hug where my head just fits on top of yours because you were so short. And one more episode of Grey's where we just laid on the couch and quoted the whole episode. I never understand these things, but we're not supposed to. I just wish we had more time. I love you 3,000.
Hi everyone, I'm Megan. I'm Andrew's girlfriend. Izzy called me Megatron, of course. I wasn't planning on speaking, but I just wanted to talk a little bit about my memories of her. I remember when Andrew and I started dating, I told him, you better watch out for my brother Nolan, you know, he's protective. And he said, well, you better watch out for Izzy, like, she'll kick your butt. And he wasn't wrong. God, she drove me crazy. I always told her she was so annoying, but she brought me so much joy. She brought everyone around her joy. She was always bringing people together. I know that cousins can attest to this. She was always getting everyone together, even just the family too for brunch on Sundays. She was insisting on the mimosas, and I always made sure to pour my own because she would do a tiny drop of orange juice. I remember her mom's birthday a few months ago. We went through like 5 bottles of champagne, just dancing in the living room, singing "A la morir y nada más," and the One Tree Hill theme song. We all loved her so much. I love you, Izzy.
I wanted to say this before, but I ask that each and every one of you, if you're able to go home today and have a mimosa estilo Isaris, okay? And like Meg said, you fill that glass with champagne and you put 1 drop of orange juice in it. That's all I ask. Y en español, hoy solo les pido que vayan a la casa y se tomen una mimosa estilo Isaris, y que es puro champán con un poquito de jugo de naranja. My sister would have loved that. I know that when we go to brunch, I will remember her because I'll have that mimosa glass in my hand. Thank you all so much for being here. Thank you for sharing your stories about my sister. She would love it. Like I said earlier, you all know that she loved the attention on her, the spotlight on her. So yeah, that's what I ask, is that we go home today and have a mimosa for my sister. All right? Say that after?
After.
Thank you so much.
See if I can read it.
All right, so you're closing?
Yes, I'm closing.
Okay, because he was going to say, okay, afterwards he's going to have everyone come home. That's pretty good. Or do you want to say?
I don't know. Well, I just want to say thanks to the ones that are leaving before. Yeah, you say it then.
No,
And I'll wait.
we're going to say that afterwards. We're going to say that afterwards.
You say whatever you
Di
say.
lo que vas a decir y después ahí después le vas a decir que todo.
I'm just going to do a little quick because I can't see with my glasses. I didn't bring my glasses. That's what I'm mad.
There's plenty of room.
Okay. All right. Good afternoon, everybody. Some of them might not know me, but my name is Patricia. I'm Isadi's favorite, coolest aunt, the youngest one. I have my other sister here. She said she was going to come support me, but she's, I can't see. I forgot my glasses. I thought I was prepared. I had my whole speech written down. I stayed up till 5 in the morning practicing it, and I was ready. And I really, I forgot my glasses. You know, so forgive me if I go slow, but I'm gonna do a quick speech for y'all. Okay, I wanna tell you really quick why I'm the coolest aunt. That's because when Isaris was in high school, the days that she didn't want to go to school, she will skip and she will end up showing at my house. Now, her parents never knew that, and I am sorry, sister, I love you. She still did good, though. I checked her grades. She was never in trouble. I was supervising her, so I let her stay at my house. It was her and CJ. That was her friend at the time, her best friend. Anyways, I'm standing here today. It feels impossible. We're all searching for words, but the only one that seems to fit Isaris is joy, laughter, and light. They say that when someone passes, you are supposed to remember the good times with Isaris. That is all there was ever here, there was ever was. My dearest niece, she was the bright center of every room she entered, bringing light and laughter to us all. I'm so sorry, y'all. Her laugh was contagious. Her heart was pure, and the love she leaves is a memory that no one can steal. Even though my heart is broken, I smile through the tears, remembering her laugh and that beautiful smile that made everybody feel happy. She filled our lives with so much sunshine, and she was the light of every party. Her spirit will always be bright and light in our heart. She was a gift to our family, and the joy she shared with will never be forgotten. I'm sure every single person here has a memory of Isari smiling and laughing. She had this incredible, rare ability to make everyone feel special. She was one who could turn a boring gathering into a lifetime memory. She loved fiercely. She sang without caring. She danced and smiled with all her heart. As her aunt, watching her grow was one of the greatest joy of my life. She was always the center of our family gatherings, the one coordinating the trips, events, and telling the best stories. She was our little firefly, bright, beautiful, and gone far too soon. To Isaris, thank you for the laughs. Thank you for showing us that life is worth celebrating every single day. We are heartbroken, yes, but we are also so incredibly lucky that we got to be part of your story. We will keep you alive in our hearts by dancing, singing, and laughing, and by remembering to be kind just like she was. I'd like to leave you all with this thought. When you think of Isaris, don't look down at the ground with tears. Look up at the sky, smile, and know that she is probably organizing a party up there right now. Rest easy, my sweet princess. We all will love you and always will carry you in our heart. On behalf of the family of the Rivera and the Pinedas, I want to thank everyone from the bottom of our hearts for being here today. Seeing how many people loved and cared for Isaris means the world to us. Isaris was a special light in our lives. And seeing all this, seeing everybody confirms how many lives she touched. We appreciate your love, your prayers, and your support more than we can say. Thank you to everyone, family, friends, co-workers, everybody from all over, that the ones that came, the ones that are out in every other state. family and friends from California, Las Vegas, Kentucky, Texas, Maryland, Washington, California, Florida, El Salvador, Honduras, Puerto Rico. And I am sure there are many more that traveled and are watching right now on help of the honor of her memory here with us today. Thank you, and I hope we all make it safe back home to our destinations. I love you all. And, okay, lo tengo en español. I have it in Spanish. I'm sorry for the ones that. Okay. En español me va a estar muy duro porque eso yo aprendí el español solita, ¿ok? Ok. Buenas tardes. La familia Pineda y Rivera les quiere dar las gracias a todos. Primero, mi nombre es Patricia, yo soy la tía favorita, soy y siempre seré la tía favorita de mi niñita Isaris. Okay. Yo era la que la protegía, la cuidaba, y cuando no tenía ganas de ir a la escuela, se iba a mi casa y yo ahí la tenía. Nunca le dije a mi hermana, actué como nada y la iba a dejar después cuando era tiempo de irse a su casa. Pero Isaris era una luz en nuestro mundo. Dice que cuando alguien fallece, uno debe recordar los buenos momentos. Con Isaris eso es todo lo que hubo siempre. Disculpe, no tengo los lentes, ¿ok? Okay. Con Isaris, ok. Mi queridísima sobrinita era el centro radiante de cada habitación en que ella entraba, trayéndose la luz y risas a todos. Su risa era contagiosa, su corazón era puro y el amor que nos deja es un recuerdo que nadie nos podrá arrebatar. Aunque tengo el corazón roto, sonrío entre lágrimas al recordar su sonrisa y esa hermosa sonrisa que hacía feliz a todo el mundo. Ella llenó nuestras vidas de tanta luz y alegría. Era el alma de cada fiesta. Su espíritu será siempre la luz más brillante en nuestro corazón. Fue un regalo para nuestra familia y la alegría que compartió nunca será olvidada. Estoy seguro de que cada persona aquí presente guarda un recuerdito de Isaris sonriente, como ella se reía, con sonrisa. Ella tenía esa habilidad increíble y singular de hacer sentir especial a todo a quien ella conocía. Era la persona capaz de convertir una reunión aburrida en un recuerdo para toda la vida. Amada con intensidad, cantaba sin inhibiciones y sonreía con todo su corazón. Como su tía, verla crecer fue una de las mayores alegrías de la vida. Siempre fue el centro de nuestras reuniones familiares, la que coordinaba los viajes y los eventos, y la que cantaba las mejores historias. En nuestra pequeña luciérnaga brillante, hermosa, y se los fue demasiado pronto. Gracias a Isaris, gracias por la risa, gracias por mostrarnos que la vida merece ser celebrada cada día. Tenemos el corazón roto, sí, pero también somos increíblemente afortunados de haber podido formar parte de su historia. Te mantenemos viva en nuestro corazón, bailando, cantando, riendo y recordando ser amables tal como era ella, como es. Me gustaría dejarles a todos en este pensamiento. Cuando piensen en Isaris, no miren hacia el suelo con lágrimas. Miren hacia el cielo, sonrían y sepan que muy probablemente ella está organizando una fiesta arriba y en este presente momento. Descansa en paz, mi dulce preciosa. Te amamos y siempre estarás en nuestro corazón. En nombre de la familia Rivera y Pineda, les queremos dar gracias de corazón por estar aquí hoy, ver cuántas personas amadas que aman que aman y se preocupan por Isaris. Significa el mundo de nosotros, para nosotros. Isaris fue una luz especial en nuestra vida y verlo todos aquí se confirma cuántas vidas ella tocó. Les agradecemos de corazón, con amor, sus oraciones y su apoyo, más de lo que las palabras pueden expresar. Gracias a todos, familiares, amigos, compañeros de trabajo, y a los familiares y amigos que los están viendo de otros estados, como de California, Las Vegas, Georgia, Texas, Louisiana, Maryland, Washington, Chicago, Florida, Nueva York, El Salvador, Honduras, Puerto Rico. Y estoy seguro que hay muchos más que viajaron, los que han viajado aquí, los que los están viendo ahorita. Les doy muchas gracias y que Dios los bendiga y que lleguemos todos bien a nuestras casas. Muchas gracias. Okay.
Thank you all for sharing your beautiful memories, and I'm sure you have more memories to share. The family is going to remain here in the sanctuary for just a little bit of private time. And then we're going to ask that the friends, if you would make your way to the fellowship hall, and there you'll be able to share some more beautiful stories. Thank you again for your attendance today. If everyone stand and the family may remain seated, if everyone else would please stand, we will be dismissed. Thank you again for your attendance. Again, make your way to the fellowship hall. Thank you.
It's been a long day without you, my friend, and I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. We've come a long way from where we began. Oh, I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. When I see you again.
Damn, who knew? All the planes we flew, good things we've been through. That I'll be standing right here talking to you about another path. I know we love to hit the road and laugh, but something told me that it wouldn't last. Had to switch up, look at things different, see the bigger picture. Those were the days, hard work forever pays. Now I see you in a better place. See you in a better place. How can we not talk about family when family's all that we got? Everything I went through, you were standing there by my side, and now you gon' be with me for the last ride.
It's been a long day without you, my friend, And I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. We've come a long way, from where we began. Oh, I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. When I see you again.
First you both go out your way and the vibe is feeling strong. And what's small turn to a friendship turn to a bond. And that bond will never be broken, the love will never get lost. And when brotherhood come first, then the line will never be crossed. Established it on our own when that line had to be drawn. And that line is what we reach, so remember me when I'm gone. How can we not talk about family when family's all that we got? Everything I went through, you were standing there by my side. And now you're gonna be with me for the last ride.
Let the light guide your way. Yeah. Hold every memory as you go. And every road you take will always lead you home. Oh, it's been a long day without you, my friend. And I'll tell you all about it when I see